A Business Knowledge Guide 1. Business Knowledge Introduction. There are lots of ideas and knowledge in business that business owners can use to improve their businesses. This book contains a lot of business knowledge that I had gathered that fits under the title of Business Knowledge to help you improve your business. Most people will find ideas in here to help them improve their business in some way. This book probably has the biggest lists of business websites anywhere. There is something in this book that every business owner can use to improve their business. You don't always intuitively know the next new good thing to better your business. Good business owners seek out new knowledge to improve their business. It's alright to stay the same if you're doing fine, but if you want to tweak your business, look around for new ideas. They're in this book. If you're looking for specific business products or cheaper ones, my list of business product companies is pretty extensive. Not many people know about business bartering. Barternews.com. itex.org. This book contains a large resource section for existing business owners with a section on government assistance to business in all facets including world trade. I give you the nuts and bolts template about how to run any type of business. There are other books that give you specific ideas about what kind of business to start. You have to work hard, at least initially, in any business you get into. If it catches on, you could make a lot of money later on, but virtually everybody has to pay their dues up front. Pretty well all self-made millionaires have made their fortunes through entrepreneurship, selling things. I don't particularly like how the media offers education on how to start and run a business because they're all about hype. They make it seem like it's really easy for anyone with an idea to make it big, but the truth is that some companies are lucky flukes that captured the zeitgeist at the right time. Now all their imitators are failing because they're the leaders and have the lion's share of the market, but they're exceptions. There is an element of good luck and bad luck in business. There's no rhyme nor reason why some businesses fail despite lots of hard work and others start up and instantly make millions. There's an intangible element to running a business. Just beware of it. You can't control what happens in society on a grand scale that could affect your business. Many of the big companies out there originally started on a shoestring. After you read through some of the complicated procedures to try to get money to start your business, you might feel discouraged. However, I assure you that most businesses that are currently successful today were at some point in time shaky start UPS with no money other than what the naive owner barely scraped together along with his or her guts, intelligence, and tenacity. Business is the modern frontier. It takes courage and guts to enter the arena. An intelligent plan, a belief in yourself, and hard work will set you on the road to success. The greatest source of knowledge is constant analysis of your business. Entrepreneurs use feedback on their performance in order to take corrective action and improve. Learn from experience and anywhere else you can. Visit your local library. Get to know its resources. In addition to books, many libraries offer free workshops, business videos, tapes, and most of the current magazines. Ask the librarian for current copies of zoning regulations. Get familiar with new books and resources in your field, computers, healthcare, crafts, etc., as well as in business skills, advertising techniques, financing, etc. Look for good business magazines. A wide variety of local and national organizations have sprung up to serve the informational, lobbying, and networking needs of business entrepreneurs. Through meetings, services, or newsletters, business trade organizations offer members everything from camaraderie to knowledge to perks such as group rates on health insurance. Chapter 1. Generic Business Inspiration. Business Coach Info. Business coach is another term for business consultant. You hire a business coach to give you advice. I have about as much respect for them as I have of life coaches because I figure you can find whatever low-level, generic advice they can give you on your own. I don't see them as business geniuses. If they were, they'd be working for a big corporation or running their own business. I see these guys as bullshit artists, but I could be wrong. The odd one might have some insight that's worth much more than you pay for his services. I've checked a handful of them out. They don't seem to give much nuts and bolts info but fancy themselves as motivators. They give you a pep talk and tell you to keep going, like psychics do. 1000ventures.com 1-to-1coaching.com abusinesscoach.com Business Go-Getter Info. A business go-getter lives in a certain way such that he's always focused on his business goals, but not in such a way that it's tedious but in such a way that it's play. When I was a teenager, I befriended a pudgy, short guy who had no interest in sports and couldn't really attract girls based on his physical look, but he was a businessman through and through. He was so motivated to get a job somewhere, but he looked too young. He got into college on the fast track and got a chartered accountant degree before he was 18, but he was too young to take the licensing test in our area, so he got a list of all the state/provincial accounting licensing boards, found one that didn't have an age specification, took the test, got licensed, which gave him the right to practice accounting anywhere in the country. He knew because he looked like a kid no one would hire him, but he all but got hired over the phone. Then when they saw him they didn't want him because he looked too young, but he begged for a job, so they paid him $20 an hour to fill out forms in the back room while they were all collecting big commissions out of their clients. He was a go-getter. He started collecting mailing lists of wealthy people and signing up his own clients, but the bosses didn't like the fact that he was bringing more clients than them, so he quit and started a business on his own, without an office because he couldn't afford one. But on his business card he said something like "No waiting in lines, we come to you." Then he created some scheme for wealthy doctors to set up their own insurance companies in the Caribbean with a client base of one themselves, which meant they didn't have to pay American insurance companies those high malpractice insurance rates, and they got a tax write-off out of it too. But eventually the insurance companies banded together to try to stop him because he was taking away all their business. After that, he told me the United States had too many regulations that was bad for business, so he went to Jamaica and set up a brokerage and a bank catering mostly to wealthy foreigners who wanted to establish their corporations there and or funnel money out of their home country to keep it from the American tax man. The reason I'm telling you all of this is because this guy wasn't much to look at, but he loved business. That's his joy and play. He's got a wife and kids now and he's a multi-millionaire. He could retire and live of his interest, but his joy is running a business and expanding it. We sat down one night and I asked him to tell me in his own words what he thought success in business was all about. He was a talker, and after a case of beer, a quart of rum and a number of recreational substances he was still talking. He loved the topic of business so much. His basic points are as follows. You have to have a business mind, an opportunistic mind that's always thinking about how to do something better, looking for an idea that could make you rich. The way it works in business is that people check you out for small jobs. They give you trial runs. If they like your style and work ethic, they bring opportunities to you. Success breeds more success. You have to be there, doing some kind of business and enjoying it. Nobody gives a guy a big break who's sitting at home waiting for someone to call him because he sends out a bunch of resumes, nor does anyone give a guy doing a small job with a bad attitude a break. If they see you can do a small job with some pride, they'll trust you for the big one. It's not all about doing good work so some guy somewhere gives you a break. This could happen or not happen. The smart guys make their own breaks. You gotta look around. If you think up a great idea, you gotta have the guts to put it into action. You gotta have a plan of what you want and how you wanna reach it. You have to develop a simple but effective system of how to maximally run the business day by day. To put it bluntly, in order to succeed with your employees, they gotta feel like it's a cool or at least a relaxed place to work. On top of that, you have the kind of mind or hired guns who know how to put a system in place where everything is organized, where you know how much money is going in and out, who the suppliers are, who's slow in paying, etc. There has to be enough of an accounting procedure and bureaucracy in place to stay on top of all the nuts and bolts things. You have to be a personable person. This could be the biggest factor that determines success or failure in business, your ability to befriend people, make them feel like they like you and can trust you. Look at George Foreman, The boxer contrasted with Mike Tyson. George does an infomercial and sells 10 million ovens while Iron Mike can't even get a beer commercial because he's so antisocial. They talk a lot about leadership in business books, but what is leadership beyond being a respectful person, talking straight to people and being committed as hell to your business? When I'm in a managerial role, it's understood that I'm the boss. People are there to work. When I want something done, I tell worker X to do it. I don't bark out the order. I just say do this and he does because it's part of our bargain, but I'm respectful about it. That's why the workers like me. I don't take liberties with them by virtue of my position. If you have good employees, you gotta treat them well in order to keep them, because the employees make or break a company. It's not just about being lovey-dovey with your workers and customers. It's about being personable with other business people like yourself, because these people are the opportunists and wheeler dealers like you. So if you befriend a number of these guys, this increases your chances of them telling you a good biz up or bringing you an idea about partnering up with them on a venture. You gotta think expansion all the time. Instead of focusing on yourself, focus on loving who you're with and making them feel comfortable. Shower them with attention and friendliness. Don't go overboard, but be pleasant. Make people feel good. Treat everyone as though they were your grandma. The more real you get with people, meaning the more you disclose about yourself in appropriate personable way, the more allies you'll make in business. The secret to customer service is to personalize the sale by making a friend. You do this by acting interested in him or her, making a bit of small talk and making him feel important. Then the next time he or she comes in and you remember their name or something about him, he'll remember that you bothered to remember. Make your store or office comfortable. Have free coffee, a kids' corner for kids to play while you do your business. Do your customers favors here and there. Possibly introduce them to business contacts. Be like Jesus. Love your customer and serve him. You choose the way you live. You're stuck in your head. The way you live and perceive life is up to you. Forget the past except to learn from it. Forget the future except for the next 3 days. Focus your energies on the present only. Worry will not help you. Do your best, love the work, then get a good night's sleep and do it all over again tomorrow. This is how to stay inspired about your life. Love what you do it well enough to bring in customers who like what you do. Virtually every successful business person on the planet lived a lot of lean years and hard work and failure, but they were positive enough to keep at it until they tasted success. A restless soul is good, to be curious enough about life that you can't stand being idle. Tinkering is good. A lot of your tinkering will not yield any tangible results as far as the real world is concerned, but it sets the stage for developing great ideas. In my opinion, if you want business inspiration, read the biographies of people ahead of their time like Da Vinci, Galileo, the Wright brothers, Edison, Francis Bacon, Isaac Newton, Johann Gutenberg, Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, etc. These people were all the first at something. Imagine the courage, the gusto, the fear, the exhilaration they all felt when they were on that frontier of making a giant quantum leap. This is what this type of people live for. If you can harness this certain combination of foolhardiness, courage, toughness, intelligence, and persistence to do something great with your life in business, the payoff to the way you feel will be incredible. It's not really about the money. It's about doing something like this where you feel like breaking through some frontier. If you really love what you do, you will be naturally thinking about it all the time, and that's when the ideas will come. You're constantly learning about your field and trying to improve it. If you really love what you do, you'll be willing to pay the price with hard work. Keep to the heart of the matter, but worry about the details too, because you don't know what it is that will lead to a breakthrough or a disaster. It could be a small detail or a big idea. Talk to other enthusiastic people in your field. Share ideas. Possibly start a joint venture. The more you know yourself and take control of your life through inspired actions day by day, the more successful and happy you'll be. You have natural energy inside of you. Find out what it is that you really like to do and tap into it. Successful people are intuitive. They sense things and act on them. Be easygoing as opposed to stressed out. Never show anger or violence at work. Stand up for yourself but be controlled about it. Don't have an explosive outburst and regret it later. Don't be greedy about trying to have it all. Business success is when you share your vision with others and they get on board with you because you reward them well for their efforts and loyalty. Give workers some power to make decisions in the workplace. Commit to your business. You can't or shouldn't do it alone. Share the workload with partners. When you make money, share it with those who worked hard with you. As long as you have a spark to do something, you'll be fine. Try hashtag 650.1. Hashtag 658.403 or BJ1597 and TL540 at the library. Informal learning in business. Business researchers say that informal learning accounts for over 75% of the learning that takes place on the job. People talk and tell each other what's going on. Company executives have been brainwashed by the corporate training/self-help industry to set up formal classroom-type lessons and courses to further motivate their workers somehow. There is value in giving students an open floor or simply time to talk to each other about the company and the job. You need feedback from the workers and a way to get that information out to everybody. You could start a newsletter or an anonymous comments box. You could set up a website for employee chat. Instead of waiting for employees to accidentally or casually reveal their ideas, make it a part of your company's culture, to share ideas you have with the company, either anonymously or publicly. Offer a reward for a good idea. Ask employees to share informally gathered knowledge with peers in a formal way. Create a quarterly informal community of sharing ideas. Get everyone in a room and start asking for suggestions and ideas. fastcompany.com/resources/connor/050205.html, Learning Resource Center. marciaconnor.com/resources/informal-learning. Business inspiration. If you wanna be a success, you gotta make sure there's no doubt in their minds. The greatest asset you can have is to believe in yourself. The second greatest asset you can have is to have a few close people believe in you. If you don't have one of these, get a dog. They will always believe in you. Wealth is the reward you get for treating your customers and employees well. Success in life begins with commitment to a mission that comes from within yourself. You're expending yourself doing what you feel you were born to do. Whatever motivates you, whatever makes you tick, whatever you love to do, that's where you must pursue your life, nothing less. Believe that in the end you will make it because you know in your soul how hard you work, how much you love it, how good you are, how much you can help people and quietly go about your work. Inspiration begins when an individual feels that what they're doing is worthwhile. If you feel you're producing a worthy product or service, you, as the head of the company, will have a good attitude which will filter down to the troops. Successful people in any realm are generally team players. They're naturally charismatic leaders who can inspire others, pass their energy on and get everybody excited about the concept to give all they got to see it succeed. Successful people are generally Renaissance people in the broadest sense of the word, educating themselves about the varied ways of the world in all its aspects. It's all about passion for doing something. Find your passion, make it happen. Make your vision a reality. Trust your intuition, the vision in your soul. Do what you care about and commit to it. Follow the vision but be wise enough to follow the details too. You don't fear failure, you just do. Successful people know they're winners inside, it's that simple. Self-mastery and self-knowledge are simply side effects of pursuing the Renaissance lifestyle, trying to be a success in the world by doing something useful with your talents to either help, amuse, or inspire people. Visualize what you want to do in your mind's eye and make it happen. You will make mistakes and have setbacks but adjust and get back to your vision as quickly as possible. When the rules change, change with them and go along with it. Have the sense to rest, recharge your batteries and revitalize yourself. Your life is a creative work of business and art in progress. Never stop learning. Have the guts to go for what you believe in and stick with it. Love your business, enjoy your work, do it well with gusto, serve your customers and the money will come. Make work your play. Find what your customer wants and give it to him in a manner which nets you a clear profit, then multiply it by finding as many customers as you can any way you can while keeping expenses down. It's the same with work. If an occupation or company doesn't interest you or pay big enough bucks, move on to ones that do. Be at peace with yourself. Get what you want by helping people get what they want out of life. Business intuition. Spiritual flow is soul, intuition, gut feeling, sixth sense, hunch, whatever you want to call it. It's living by soul, doing everything by feel, feeling what you have to do, what you should eat, how much sleep you should get, analyzing people quickly with one look and responding quickly to any situation. It's simply your instantaneous feeling about anything in any situation based on what you feel in your soul. It usually applies to judgments of people or the feel of any situation. We all instantaneously judge people in our minds immediately upon seeing them. Beyond that, it most often applies to danger. We can often sense danger immediately based on past dangerous experiences and instinct. Your mind is quickly evaluating the situation and sending signals to your body, usually a quick shot of adrenaline, a quick message to move then action. Spiritual flow is based on the collection of all the experiences in your life now sitting in your mind at both a conscious and subconscious level plus an innate gut wisdom you were born with. It enables us to quickly evaluate events and situations. It's instinct, the power of the mind to sense what's going on around you. Trust it? For me, it's always right. I judge people totally by spiritual flow. Whenever I see someone for the first time, I look into their face to get a read of the aesthetic appreciation in their lives, i.e., are they really happy? Then I look at their bodies to see if they respect themselves enough to take care of themselves. Your face and body are your biography. It's all there. Nobody can really hide their true selves much despite what airs they put on or how many letters they have after their names or how much money in the bank. The human mind is capable of quick, complex evaluations based on whatever information it receives, so I conclude that it's a highly logical thing to trust your inner flow because it's based on quick, intelligent thought which gives you an immediate sense about something. Experience and knowledge mixed in with an inspired lifestyle where you sometimes contemplate your business during idle times leads to business intuition, great ideas that cause quantitative leaps of knowledge and improvements in your business. You consciously make an effort to live by these tools, experience, knowledge, and inspiration. They all go into the subconscious mind where they're mixed around, and sometimes through the magical, mystical process of incubation, a great insight about your business pops out or the solution to a problem you've been thinking about. This is a process that takes place somewhere between the subconscious mind and the soul. It's real and sometimes leads to great visions about your business. Go with the flow of living your business to the core in mind, body, and soul as an interesting experience as a liberally educated person trying to be the best you can be at what you do, and when you live this way, you get the insights you need to move on ahead because your intuitive sense resonates through your entire being and gives you what you need to move on in life as long as you're true to yourself. Beyond that, intuition is a knowing what you have when you're living by the laws of the universe, trying to do something positive with your life, working hard at what you love to do for the love of the process and for the world of business, doing something that either helps, inspires, or amuses people. You do it for the passion of it, like you're dancing your way through life, and when you feel like this, everything becomes intuitive. Life is reduced to spiritual flow. You instinctively know what to do and for how long to do it for. It's a tangible sense that deep inside you know you're fulfilling your God-given destiny, so you feel right about everything you do because you're intuitively doing what you were created for. Success in business and in life is like sailing a boat. You can take all the courses and read all the books you want, but it ain't real until you're out there doing it for a while and reach a level of experience, knowledge, and inspiration such that you feel it inside. It all becomes an intuitive flow, That's the simplest way to describe it. You either got it or you don't. You gotta know when to stay steady, know when to move and know when to change. Constant adaptation to the changing circumstances around you is the key to success. Get over your fear and rut of habit to change when you have to. Some people are born deadheads, some are born with the potential to live a spiritually intuitive life, but you have to develop and refine it just like a virtuoso in any field, in your case, your field being your business and your business sense. Value what you feel in your heart, soul, and guts. Use your intuition with people too. Feel them by what they say, how they look, how they act, body language, mannerisms, etc. It's easy once you get to that level of knowing in life. It can only come by being totally true to yourself. A lot of the so-called knowledge of the world is pure crap trying to brainwash you into that corporate government academia way of thinking with their laws, rules, strategies, and principles. Trust yourself above all of them. Never forget the immortal first line of Kipling's great poem if you can keep your head when all about you are losing there and blaming it on you. Try hashtag 155-159 and number 613 at the library for books about intuition. BlanchardTraining.com. HumoveMedicis.com, Adaptation to Change. Business Knowledge Info. Pride and success together are ugly. Humility and success are sweet. Nowadays, knowledge is the commodity of life both for consumers and the owners of businesses. Consumers check things out before they buy. Business owners want to know the latest knowledge to improve business. Workers want to upgrade themselves through education to better their lot in life. As a progressive company, supply educational materials with your products either in flyers or informative catalogs which offer practical information as well as information about the products, and get a website out there to offer information in the field your products are in. You have this book to help you learn more about business. Simply go to some of the extensive lists of websites and pull up one or two every night to scan them to see what you can learn from them. If you learn something I haven't yet covered in this book, send me the tip so I can add it to the next edition. Some workers are satisfied with their position at work, but many want more out of life, essentially a higher level of skill to earn more money. At some companies, they subsidize college tuition, often about a 50-50 split. At some businesses, you get an automatic raise if you complete an additional degree in your chosen field. At some places, the company sets up training programs in many subjects on the internet or through a video course and offers them free to its employees. It's kinda like they have a little library resource room or an educational website where workers can go to learn more about business in general and their particular field, and when employees pass certain tests for courses like a safety course, a company operations course, etc., they either get a bonus or a small raise and possibly a promotion. Some companies might knock off work at 3 o'clock on a Friday afternoon every second week or so, whereupon all employees shuffle into a room where they might be offered snacks or not. That's not really important, but the thing is that they watch some video or speaker presentation about some aspect of their business. There are all kinds of video instruction courses for sale on the market about how to run a good business, stay motivated, new technology, e-commerce, customer service, etc. Beyond the education, it creates a team spirit, unity thing too. Maybe preface it with a little pep talk about the latest developments in the company and some raw motivation. Hire guest speakers to come in and put a seminar every third Friday afternoon or so. Hire business teachers from the local high school or college to teach your employees a course on the practical aspects of business one afternoon every week or two. The new business model is knowledge and information. Because of technology, everything is always changing anyway. Do what you must in order to keep your customers and workers up on it. Educated employees are the most motivated employees, especially if you provide the education. Send your good workers to industry conventions to report back to you what they learned about the business. It's a working vacation for them. Encourage people to offer ideas on how to improve the company by either having a creativity discussion session every month or so, or have a suggestion box where they can put in ideas either signed or anonymous. Books about education are at hashtag 370-379 at the library. I've written a book of resources about education. Number 331 is the section for jobs and job hunting, but there are business books mixed in there, particularly at hashtag 331.2592 or HF1106, which is a business education section. Business knowledge sharing info. Businesses don't want to share knowledge, not even with non-competing businesses, because they think their competitors will get a hold of it and use it against them. Individuals are most commonly rewarded for what they know, not what they share. secure.wikimedia.org/wikipedia/n/wiki/knowledge_sharing. b2bknowledgesharing.blogspot.com. step2.com.au/papers/cmb_knowledgesharing, don't share knowledge. 12manage.com. management-issues.com. Business motivation for you and your employees. Be the best at what you do. Become the type of individual and company you want to be. Motivation is not a quick fix. It's a systematic way of running a business. It's not all about rewards or trying to create a cushy climate for the workers. It's about giving them something to do that they really like, that makes them feel they're on the cutting edge of a new frontier of life. Sure, you try to please your good workers and make them happy, but you want them to get excited about something such that they feel challenged and stimulated by it. Obviously, this is not possible with all jobs, so you do the best you can. You eliminate the crap and meaningless bull of the job to keep it functional and straight up. Don't bullshit them. Just provide the straightest, upfront process where they understand that they have to do X amount of production every day, then they can relax a bit. The workers are mature. They can handle a tedious job as long as you don't try to sugarcoat it, pay them as well as possible as opposed to using them as expendable slaves, and are straight with them about it. Tell them you know it's not highly interesting work, but it's a necessary job that has to be done, which is why you pay them several dollars over the minimum wage per hour and let them leave 15 minutes early on most days, as long as they do the work. If the work is not interesting enough to be self-motivating, the next best thing is to encourage a standard of quality such that they give a damn about creating a good product for the customer, because it's their job and livelihood, and besides, if they don't, the company folds and they lose their job. You, as the boss, have to show you give a damn about the quality of work and pass the sense of quality standard onto your workers somehow. One way to do it is to focus on doing a good job, since you're doing it anyway, and get rid of all the crap incidentals like the politics of the place, lots of rules, protocols, etc. Everything is focused on doing a good job of the main production and not emphasizing the subsidiary stuff so much. Make everything else brief. Just focus on producing a high-quality end product and pass the standard onto your workers through your actions. Give them some freedom in the production process and reward them for good work. In relations between people, the more honest, open, receptive, sociable, empathetic, and understanding you are, the more your employees will like you, therefore the more willing they will be to put out for you. Be a good guy and they will treat you well. The work has to matter to the worker on some level. He or she must feel a sense of pride and self-respect with the work they do and feel that they're helping people, doing something worthwhile and contributing to life in the world somehow. The only real way to motivate people is to make them feel like they're on the cutting edge of human progress and evolution, something like the team who sent the first man to the moon, the team in Canada who created the Aerojet plane before Diefenbaker pulled the plug in the 1950s, the people at Apple who felt like the artists of the computer, the people at Google mapping out a search engine of knowledge for the world, and other ventures where the people feel united for a great mission, great job, or a great cause. Of course, business isn't always this dramatic and original, but regardless of the company, you have to somehow inspire the workers to feel that they're doing valuable work that helps people in some way and make it seem challenging and interesting too. I don't know exactly how you can do this in your particular, unique situation, but this is what business motivation comes down to: making the worker feel as though he's in the midst of something interesting and great happening and wants to be part of it. If your company does something rather mundane, try to get the people to have pride in their work by telling them they do a great service for their customers, the customers need them, want them, and respect them. Think of how the Walmart staff, the Disney staff and McDonald's staff are all trained to put on a happy face and serve the customer through their regular little pep rally style meetings. Even though the intrinsic desire to do a job is the highest motivator, money ain't a bad motivator either, or time off and bonuses. Either give them part ownership of the company through a stock ownership plan or have some bonus plan set up for employees who meet certain standards. You must not reward everybody, only the people who deserve it. This will make them try harder, but if you give everyone the same bonus, there's no incentive for the individual to try harder. Give them a voice in how the company is run. Try to make the workplace fun, interesting, playful, challenging, cool, happening, beautiful, great, relaxed, informal, creative, revolutionary and original. Constantly look for workers who would fit into this atmosphere and contribute something valuable to the company vision. Put all new employees on probation, and if they don't fit, don't hire them. Create a cool brand identity/logo about yourself. Microsoft might be the most successful company in history, but the name sucks. Notice how they used modern pop songs in some of their TV ads. Nike and Sprite are both masters at branding themselves as cool stuff for cool people. When your brand image is cool, the people who work for you think they're cool because they're part of something cool. Hire pretty girls to man your retail outlets and customer service. It's easy. When people come in to interview for a job, you don't openly discriminate. Tell them all you will get back to them and hire the prettiest ones. Advertise for workers at a college campus or at a place where young, cool-looking people hang out at. Notice how those boutiques like Gap and Victoria's Secrets try to hire cool-looking people. It will motivate the guys in the back production room to work harder too. Measure quality somehow so that employees can see the cold, hard reality of their work in numbers. Measure number of units sold and number of returns. Even though the goal is to get workers to develop an intrinsic interest and sense of responsibility in the work, use rewards too. Give bonuses for good work. Be friends with your workers. Don't be afraid to give them little pep talks. Hire original, genius nerdy types, then make them over to make them presentable to the mainstream. They want to fit in more too. Try to keep a buzz going about your company both publicly and within the workplace. Create new products, then test them out to get feedback from the real world. Treat customers well. Don't create stress, but create a sense of positive urgency so people are on their toes, actively trying to complete the project. Celebrate the successes with parties and bonuses. Culture a vision/identity and constantly refresh it. Keep the boring stuff short and to the point, like business meetings. A successful workplace, just like an enlightened individual, searches for its identity until it finally finds what fits, then it's inspired, has its vision, and the rest is easy, to simply do it. Cater to your customers such that they come back, compliment you and keep buying the product. Incorporate the aesthetic ideal into the production process. Workers must be helped to feel like artists creating great masterpieces. Listen to your customers. Learn from them. Eliminate the crap from the workplace, like the silly rules, stupid meetings, wasteful protocols, etc. Create long-term incentives for your workers, with a plan that says you're looking out for bettering their lives. Add new products to your inventory to keep it fresh. Create an entertaining, inspiring, informative website. Be positive. Get workers from a diversity of backgrounds, mix them together and let whatever happens happen. Make the lounge at work a real cool place with music, a soda fountain, etc. Find a few cool, older dudes who can be like the wise old men of the gang. Find kindred spirits and hire them. If you have bad customers who always complain, dump them. Look for good, happy customers. Develop a company reputation of integrity and quality. Culture a sense of curiosity and constant revitalization of the spirit of the company. Be a networker. The more people, suppliers, customers, friends, etc., who come over for social visits, the more connected and happier the workers feel. I know one particular company who did nothing that was really related to safety factors. They assembled custom-made industrial computers for clients, and they routinely smoked grass, drank beer, and listened to rock music while they worked. The final product was always good. Craft a cool image. Design a cool business card. Business pioneer. Fill a need and fill it. Create a need and fill it. Give people what they want. Business is all about two things, marketing and innovation. Swim upstream. Go the other way. Ignore the conventional wisdom. If everybody else is doing it one way, there's a good chance you can find your niche by going in exactly the opposite direction. But be prepared for a lot of folks to wave you down and tell you you're headed the wrong way. I guess in all my years, what I heard more often than anything was, a town of less than 50,000 population cannot support a discount store for very long. Sam Walton, Made in America, 1992. Think opportunity rather than bland security. Do what comes naturally. Love your business, enjoy your work, do it well with gusto, serve your customers and the money will come. Make work your play. Find what your customer wants and give it to him in a manner which nets you a clear profit, then multiply it by finding as many customers as you can any way you can while keeping expenses down. It's the same with work. If an occupation or company doesn't pay big bucks, move on to ones that do. Be at peace with yourself. Help people get what they want out of life. Albert Einstein said imagination is more important than knowledge because anybody can learn any crap in school, but what's the good of it if you can't apply it to the real world in your particular situation? Imagination is what puts everybody on a level playing field. If you can use your brain to come up with one great idea or several, work hard at it, develop a product or service people need, protect it via patent, copyright, or trademark, market it aggressively and never lose sight of the vision, you could get rich like any other self-made guy or gal with a unique idea. Ideas are money, but only if backed up with hard work and some uncertainty as you make your way through, which is why we have to applaud the great innovators of the world, because just about all of them didn't know whether they'd be successful or not. Even the greats had to sell their concepts to the world before they caught on. First off, in order to be a winner, you can't separate your life into compartments. You have to see yourself as a unitary soul dedicated to pursuing your destiny to realize your purpose and direct all your energy to this end in a peaceful, consistent way. Great companies don't come overnight, they're created bit by bit, day by day, over years of hard work toiling towards the goal. Think of the Wright brothers with the airplane or Robert Louis Stevenson with the train. Both took years and years of uncertain experimentation before they created something the world had never seen before. It's often not great leaps of insight, but many little leaps which all come together as you go along. You have to be able to separate yourself from the traditional old ways of doing things to look for new solutions to our current collective problems in life. Creative imagination is a natural thing inside of you that comes from the inspiration in your soul that you should culture by getting away from your rut of habit enough to be open to see things differently in new ways and come to innovative solutions. Even if 1,000 of your ideas are rejected by you in terms of developing them, or if they all fail, it could be that next idea that nets you the big score, so never give up on it. In order to win at life, you need to be always looking for the next great idea. Use your creative imagination to find little ways to constantly improve your business. The creative mind is able to get beyond the crap of the world enough to relax and simplify your thoughts such that the soul opens up and subconsciously incubates what you feed it, often spitting out insightful solutions to some of the questions you ponder. This ability sometimes borders on the bizarre but can be a common part of your lifestyle should you choose to live this way, by your free intuition inside of you. It's the way to play through life, enjoying the spiritual, mental, sensual journey spontaneously as you go along. Farnsworth, the guy who invented TV, was brought up on a farm, and while tilling a field back and forth in lines, he got the idea of how to create visual images electronically with lines. A lot of great inventions were created by one shot, momentary eureka insights, but he wasn't business savvy, so the big corporations tied him up in court until his patents expired. Then they used TV freely while he was left in the dust. You are what you feed yourself with intellectually, sensually, and spiritually. If you ponder your life, you will come up with the things you must do in order to live it greatly, simply by being calm enough to listen yourself and acting on it, to constantly review and renew yourself all at the same time. You have to find your own truth within yourself and make it come to pass. The process of keeping a diary or journal is good for you to empty out your seemingly random thoughts at the end of the day, and when you read them over at a later point in time, you will probably see trends, which is the beginning of your awareness of who you really are in your soul and what direction you should proceed in the pursuit of your life. Constantly learn about your area of interest, then expand on it by deliberating over it all the time to enable you to come up with new insights for your business. This is simply intuition and imagination, very natural ways to live for some, very unnatural for others who have succumbed to the one-dimensional mechanical view of knowledge taught by the conventional world system. Eliminate the noise of the world to see your life for what it really is, and from there, develop the strength to succeed in whatever it is you were meant to do with your life. Everybody has within a certain amount of creative potential. To honor yourself and your world is to live it out. Sure, you do it for the money, but the most important thing is to live the life you were meant to live, so that when you get to the end, you will know you've honorably released all the positive energy your God wanted you to release when you were born. Success in life is following your true nature and parlaying it into a means to earn your cash. Find what you love to do that can help other people, and you win the game of life. Your job is to see what others overlook and make something useful out of it. A career is a job that has gone on too long. I believe that every person on this planet has something unique within themselves that they can use to help the world and earn them their money. That's more valuable than any job out there, should you take the time and the work to develop yourself enough to find it. There are no guarantees in life. It's all at least 50% uncertainty, but it's like Roosevelt said, the credit goes to the one who busts his butt in what he believes in regardless of outcome, because he or she has the soul to live a vital life of intensity and striving, worth more than all the huddled masses out there with their safe, cheap, dull, predictable, mundane lives. Every pioneer feels alone, scared and uncertain at first, and often gets a lot of criticism from others who want him to be down and out like they are, because they don't want anybody outshining them. If you look into yourself deeply, you might find that the one who's holding you back the most is you, with all your fears and uncertainties. The world has it all wrong. They train us to be conformist, one-dimensional beings and call us mature when we take on some steady, dull job out there, while they scorn the visionary dreamers and call them a bunch of loser hippie crackpots. It's great to dream, but dream of something real you can do and have the strength and discipline to carry it out. In your darkest hour, you can find strength by knowing that millions of others are going through the same dark hour as you at some point in time. Business purpose. The secret of success is focus of purpose. Thomas Edison. The secret of success is constancy of purpose. Benjamin Disraeli. The truth is that regardless of how creatively inspired you are to live by what you believe in, the world will only know that after you've made your splash and people start believing in you, but until that time, you will just be another unknown, a pretender in the eyes of the world. So you will have periods of great rejection and discouragement, but the true artist of life knows he's unique and good despite the criticism and negative attention from the outside world. So as long as you know you've got a good plan doing something good for the world, don't listen to any of them and don't take their silent rejection personally. Screw them all. Forge ahead confidently and defiantly, because you know you have a soul that matches all the greats throughout history, from Alexander to Jesus to Da Vinci on up to Robert Fulton to Steve Jobs, creator of the Macintosh, the Cadillac of the personal computer. If what you're doing is good and right, keep forging ahead and know you will receive the payoff at some point in time. All winners lived through this uncertainty before they made it. Ultimately, all that matters is living out the process of your life, being true to yourself. You will get the financial remuneration you want for your efforts, but you will get to know your true identity along the way, which few people ever do. Plus you will live a full life because it's really all about the journey, not the destination. Just like you can live through your darkest hour to learn about your soul, so too can you live through your highest, most glorious days to know they never last, unless you have the sense to keep renewing yourself day after day through inspired creative effort, to keep forging ahead in what you believe in for your own sake, to stay perpetually youthful and to help the world through your efforts to earn you your keep. It never ends. Even if you make enough money such that you're set for life, you still have to have the wherewithal to keep inspiring yourself and releasing your natural primal, creative, and spiritual energy in order to keep feeling good. It's great when you find your soul and know what your purpose is, but the real challenge is to keep inspiring yourself as you go through life, to stay energized and vitalized such that you stay young and sparkly forever. Anyone can have one great moment in time where they're more than they thought they could be, but only the rare enlightened master lives a temperate and intense life, soaring to his highest heights at an even pace all the time. It's rare. In the media, we see all kinds of people make one great move, have one great product, do one great thing or something like that, then they're riding on their own coattails with inferior, mundane quality for the rest of their lives. This is cheap crap. People cheating themselves out of life because they made a big score in one shot. Now because they're financially set, they can move on into being slobs. Take a look at our professional athletes. A year or two after they're through, a lot of them are human waste products who lost that confident intensity they once had, which is everything, your spark for life. The only real joy comes out of doing something you love to do with an impassioned fervor that has some use for someone else besides you. All that frivolous stuff out there might satisfy you for a season or two, but unless you do something from within yourself that you feel taxes you heavily in some way, such that you've challenged yourself mightily for the day and won, you will never know the true joy of living a worthy, passionate life. If you live like this, even your God will lend you a hand in reaching your true destiny, not to mention all the wise souls out there who know true effort when they see it and will be willing to invest in you because they know you're worth it. Our entire business model is based on the view that work is unpleasant and whatever you sacrifice for it is what you should reap money-wise in return, but the real way to approach life is find what you love to do from within yourself, then do it with a fervor for your own joy, to help other people such that you earn your money from it, get their goodwill and live a healthy life forever young by renewing your spirit through it every single day. Learn from your life and by studying the lives of others. Be part learner to absorb what you can from the world and part teacher to give back whatever wisdom you may have gleaned to help others who are now as naive and lost as you once were, but don't help them unless they're trying and are active seekers. Nobody wants unsolicited advice, not even the most ignorant dumbest clod out there, so inspire, educate, and entertain only those people out there that want a piece of you and will appreciate it. The only law that matters is the law inside of you. Listen to that and disregard the rules of the world. There will be many cases where your wisdom supersedes that of this stupid world we live in, regardless of the consequences for not following their stupid rules. Simply live to release the positive natural energy inside of you and disregard all the other crap in a world made up of small-minded, trivial people not courageous enough to live for their real selves, so they compensate for the emptiness and inferiority they feel in their compromised lives by using whatever trivial power they might have in their jobs to try to take it out on you, but you're too enlightened to let these little dweebs dampen your spirit in any way at all. Never forget this lesson. The world is made up of mostly small minds living in a delusion that they're way cool and enlightened, who will take out their frustrations on you if you give them half a chance by showing them that you're letting them get to you. Don't listen to any of them. Once you find your soul, stay on your course, live an intentional life for you, and know that regardless of outcome in the so-called real world, the true reward for a job well done is the process of having done it, which should have righteously taxed your body, mind, and soul enough to have become absorbed in it to the extent that you lose your mechanical conscious reality to go into that place that's all soul, soaring like the wind, which gives you some inspiration, joy, transcendence, and revitalization for a while. Inspired action from your soul is the solution to all of life, to keep renewing yourself day after day by doing positive inspired things you love to do. Life will be a spiraling journey of ups and downs. The one who wins is the one who keeps getting back on his horse to release his or her positive natural energy via inspired action to go for those dreams and visions that live in their soul. Try hashtag 650.1 or HD53 at the library for books about how to be creative and purposeful in business. Business thinking info. Do things, build things that people need. Study. Learn. Practice. Have patience. Keep your eyes open. Your coup d'oeil will come. Less and less do you need to force things. Until finally you arrive at non-action. When nothing is done, nothing is left undone. Tao Te Ching, 5th century BC. The above statement is basically describing a formula on how to use intuition to live a successful life. Learn about the outside world. Take all the knowledge you want from it, but use it as the lower order base from which you do your own freewheeling thinking and analysis. These two faculties combined give you intuition, the ability to sense things in different situations and the ability to spit out solutions to things you've been thinking about through some illogical, creative process in your head, sometimes called incubation. This is the simple formula for successful business thinking. Learn anything that interests you in the outside world that might relate to your business, and even if it doesn't, it's still intellectual stimulation. Think things over that you're interested in. Think about your business situation, business problems, business visions, etc. By combining the above two steps, sometimes great ideas will come during analysis. Other times, your brain will be working on a subconscious level and take the information you filled it up with to give a great intuitive answer to your problem or issue. There are hundreds of business books at number 338 and hashtag 650 659 at the library. Reading some of them keeps your mind in a business-like state, so at the least you're always acquiring knowledge, but at the best, some idea you see in one of these books may spark that great idea of your own, then you can run with it all the way to the bank. The Industrial Revolution didn't all of a sudden start because of the inventions of a few individuals. A few people created some machines that were derived from the world's knowledge from the past. Then when these machines were out there, others got the idea to think like that and simply brought existing concepts to light. Everybody builds on everybody else's knowledge. That's how life works in the realm of human progress. How did Steve Jobs come up with the mouse concept in computer usage? He went to a demonstration at Xerox, saw them using a primitive form of it which to him was pure genius. Then 10 minutes later, he knew this was the future way computers would be operated. Doodling and daydreaming are good. To a fertile mind, they are exercise, mulling thoughts through. This is the foundation for great inspired insights. Consultants are hired for precisely the reason that they have a base of knowledge which they can draw on to come to creative, intuitive ways to solve problems. Simply keep your mind focused on the topic of your interest and the ideas will come in time. I've seen business thinking called such terms as brainstorming, knowledge management, expert intuition, creative strategizing and strategy consulting. I've covered this topic somewhat in my education book. Education books in general go from hashtag 370-379 at the library. Mind power type books are at hashtag 153.14 to number 159 at the library. Try hashtag 371.3028 at the library for books about how to study. Go to the hashtag 793-4 section of your library for books dealing with brain teasers, creativity, and how to open up your mind. I've seen a few creative thinking type books in the business section, hashtag 650-659. Try hashtag 658.401 or HD30. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/list_of_business_theorists. Business as social need. I still don't quite understand why some people stay on in business long after they've made enough money to live on for the rest of their lives, because I'm an artist of my life. I live to be free enough to do what I want. There's plenty for me to do from my natural store of inspiration. I don't want people bugging me. Pursuing my own interests is much more important to me than engaging with others in superficial social connections, but that's me. I've come to the conclusion that there are very few people who think or live like I do. I met a guy in Niagara Falls who owned a big store with 4 floors of stuff in it. He had enough money such that he didn't have to work, but I think he liked the interaction with people. I met 2 brothers who owned a fair-sized hotel that was worth millions of dollars, yet they continued to go to work every day and looked after customers in a hands-on way. And what about those Silicon Valley billionaires? Why aren't they doing coke somewhere with a harem full of kept girls? I personally don't get it. As a guy without a lot of money, I still crave my freedom to do what I want way more than I want to interact with people in business. I don't mind writing this business book because I do it at night while I rest after I've done my free physical pursuits during the day. If I had more money, you'd better believe I'd be snorting coke with pretty, young chicks on a tropical island, but I see these guys still get up and go run their businesses every day. I think it's part ego and part social need. I feel luckier than all these people because I've got enough of a life to try to follow what's in my soul purely rather than playing those games of ambition, status, and material excess from the world. If that's what they like, good for them, but as a bohemian artist free spirit type, I don't understand this business mindset. Life's too short. There's gotta be more than running a business. Artists do what they do every day to free themselves from the mundanity of normal human consciousness. That's what I live for, to release that natural inspired hedonistic loving energy to feel high about my life every single day. Business just doesn't cut it for me. If you really enjoy running the business you're in, write a short essay telling me why. Send it to me. If I get 100, I'll put them together in a book and call it Business Motivation: Why People Stay in Business Long After They've Made More Money Than They Need. Believe me, it's still a mystery to me why people do this stuff when they don't have to. Maybe it's their source of inspiration and identity. Chapter 2. Business Sense. Focus on what makes money. The Pareto principle in business is to focus on the 20% of your customers who bring you 80% of your business. Replicate the few things that make you lots of money. Get rid of the stuff that takes hard work but yields minor profits. Outsource your administrative tasks so you can focus on expanding your business. Hire a virtual assistant. Establish your highest priorities and focus on them. Minimize things like socializing while working or talking to people in meetings and interviews about stuff that means nothing much. Have an agenda. Have a purpose. Don't procrastinate. Identify the useless stuff in whatever you do and don't waste time on it like in reading an educational book. Don't read every page. Go for the main points, usually in the table of contents, the titles, the first and last pages of each chapter. Do what you like as a business venture. Do not do what you don't like. SBA Basic Knowledge. The Small Business Administration, SBA, offers business courses through its Small Business Institute and Small Business Development Centers, often in conjunction with local community colleges. These courses are available in most areas, not just in large cities. The SBA also provides more than 100 publications at nominal prices for small business owners. To obtain a free copy of Management Assistance Publications, SBA 115A, which lists the available SBA publications, contact your nearest SBA office. Look in the telephone book under U.S. Government or write to SBA Publications, P.O. Box 30, Denver, Colorado 80201-0030, sba.gov. Another way to get help in starting a business is to use the services of a business advisor, such as a financial consultant or accountant. The SBA sponsors the Service Corps of Retired Executives, SCORE.org, a group of former business executives who can answer specific questions about starting your business. Each SCORE client is matched with a business retiree who has expertise or knowledge in specific areas. Your district SBA office can give you the address and telephone number of the nearest SCORE office. All services provided by SCORE are free of charge. All SCORE advisors are volunteers and receive no pay for their services. Find a need and fill it. Identify a need. Is there something in life that you can fix or sell for cheaper than anyone else? Figure out how to do it. Write out a business plan. How do you market it? Can you make money off it? I used to hear old man Schuller say this on his Hour of Power TV show before I got tired of watching it because it's like a broken record, the same thing over and over again, but the thing is that it's true. Find a need that people will pay to have filled and fill it. There are two ways to do this. The first is to discover or invent something that you perceive the world needs, then test it, and if the marketing tests are positive, proceed. The second is to identify a subgroup or target group of people in society, ask them what they want or need and do it. These are the basic human drivers that motivate people to buy something. Find a need that answers one of these motivators and fill it. Knowledge, curiosity or thirst for wisdom, social acceptance, status, friendship, love, relationships, and sex. Feel comfortable in your skin, sense of identity. Health, free of disease. No pain, physical, emotional, etc. Power over others. Entertainment. Money. Personal safety, security, and comfort. A better future for the children. To ease a fear of something. Be trendy and cool. Fame/celebrity. Hedonism, cheap thrills. You can't be everything to everybody. Focus on the needs and desires of one group and serve them, at least at first. This could be housewives, students, middle-aged businessmen, people who drive to work, people who exercise, etc. Keep it simple. Do what works. Eliminate what doesn't. Create one or two branding ideas about yourself. I'm not talking image like a cool dude driving down the highway. I'm talking identify what you do best and stick by it. Do you deliver quickly? What exactly do you sell? Do you have great service or the cheapest prices? Do you do quick work fast or do you take a day longer and do a better job? Identify yourself in one sentence and use it on your business cards. In order to get customers at first, you have to offer a really great deal just to get customers to try you out. Get a coupon in your local phone book if possible. Advertise great deals any way you can. Don't promise what you can't deliver. People will be turned off and won't return. Once you identify your target group and sell one thing to them, keep finding new products and services that will interest them. Set up a website not only to sell but to provide a community to your target market. Do you have business sense? Ask yourself the following questions about the business you want to start. Do you have the knowledge, experience, training, and wisdom to go through with it? What more will you have to learn about the business? How much of my time will it take? What about my personal life? Will it suffer? Can I do this part-time? How much startup capital do I need? What are the approximate monthly bills to keep it going? When can I expect to reap profits? What amount of space do I need? Will I need to hire staff? Who will my suppliers be? Who will my customers be? Will my spouse and family support me, help me, or alienate me? Do I want them meddling in my affairs? Will this fulfill me personally and financially? Chapter 3. Business Sense Essays. Business Sense 1. Although many have tried, there's no quick fix and a walk down the garden path of business success. Even most of the stuff at MBA school is crap you will never use in real life. Nothing beats good old-fashioned slow experience in the real world of business, learning your craft as you develop your business. All them books, theories, workshops and seminars out there about new business management techniques are mostly bull. There may be a few pearls of wisdom here and there, but true wisdom starts when you realize you have all the knowledge within yourself to create your own life and your own business as you go along. Sure, knowledge is part of it. You have the sense to read good business magazines and the occasional good business book to expand your knowledge, but nothing can compete with a true intuitive sense of your business by knowing it through working it day by day, then analyzing your experiences of it. Success in business comes down to one thing: find a niche that either helps, inspires, or amuses people and run with it all the way to the bank. Success in business equals success in life. You have to be a winner in attitude first within yourself, then transform it onto the business world. Success in business is to reduce your business down into its simplest, lowest terms. Take the path of least resistance as long as it works. Do whatever it is you do in the simplest way possible. Don't live in denial. See the real you right now, pure and naked. Do something to improve yourself all the time to be a better human being, both for yourself and for the people around you. A few people fluke out, but most make it by working hard at something they love to do. Be intelligent about your life and your business. Hire good people to help you get what you want. Focus only on what you can do well and want to do. Just about everybody successful starts at the bottom and works their butts off every day. Always reach your potential in effort every day. You need all the friends you can get. Make friends by being a friend. Make as many superficial friends as you can in business, but trust few people. True friends are rare. Pick them wisely. When it comes to money, I believe that when the cat is away, most mice will play. I've seen so many cons and swindles by employees and business partners that I will say, when it comes to people handling your money, first off, find trusty ones. Secondly, no matter how much you trust them, always keep one hand in there, read the statements and don't just trust their word. A good way to guard your money is to have two people with different ideologies working together to be responsible for the same thing. If you have a chief accounting officer who's a secular, fast-talking slickster who knows how to cook the books, hire a spinster Christian woman as his assistant and talk to each of them separately about what's going on. There's little chance they will unite to rip the company off, but if you've got two male yuppies working together, you're asking for it. One guy, Howard Hughes, hires Mormons because he says they're the most trustworthy. Go to the local Mormon church or a local Mormon newsletter and advertise. Business success takes toughness, it's that simple. You have to work hard, be tough and tenacious, and never let up no matter what. Everybody thinks that life is not fair sometimes. Often you have to let everything slide off your back and keep going on with your vision. No matter what, keep that smile inside and pass it on to the people around you. Business management is basically the same thing, you learn as you go along. You can't really learn the essence of it in a book, although you can pick up inspiration and the occasional tip here and there. So my point is, don't buy into all that fancy sounding academic type business lingo mumbo jumbo out there. Learn the basic hardcore facts about running a business and trust yourself for the rest, just like Abe Lincoln did when he set out to educate himself on his own. Self-education in business is the highest virtue. Read all the business books you want, but critically analyze them and ultimately only trust yourself. We're all too brainwashed into thinking somebody somewhere out there knows something more than we do about business, the quick fix so to speak. Check it out if you want, but after all the smoke clears, it comes down to good old-fashioned hard work, common sense, and analyzing your experiences to improve your business, and that's pretty well it. A good manager is always there to run his business, just like the artist is always there to paint his paintings because he gives a damn about it and loves the process in and of itself. Business is hard work, tedium, and some boredom, especially at the lower levels when you're just trying to sell enough product to survive, but the successful ones are the ones who treat it as an art form regardless of how plodding and dull others see it. The most successful businesses are the basic ones, not considered exciting or glamorous, like food, household goods, drugstores, laundromats, funeral homes, etc. Very few people get to start something as creative and world-changing as Apple and Microsoft did with the computer revolution, and on second thought anyway, for a guy like me, computers are just as dull as fast food. It's all the same. The life is the life you give it. Put your nose to the grindstone, do your job, and don't worry about all that fancy mumbo-jumbo in cutesy business books and magazines. The so-called business book and tape leaders, the Ziglers, the Coveys, the Robbins sell hype in the form of a temporary shot of inspiration. They don't even give you the nuts and bolts of how to actually run a business. They simply tell you to get pumped up, be strong and do it. Business is basic hard work and dedication. Keep it that way. Don't look for gimmicks because they don't exist. In the world of work, we're all just people going through life, yet we try to put the manager on some level above the rest of humanity, where he or she's this cool dude who somehow leads people, inspires them and gets things done. People aren't stupid. Once they learn their jobs, they basically know what to do. You don't have to pretend you're a great leader and try corny one-liners out to try to motivate them. Just talk to them as normal human beings, human to human, no bull involved. Don't try to shroud yourself in some facade of the highly educated phony who knows more than they do. They will see through it. Treat people like you want to be treated. Don't try to make them do things you wouldn't do. If you do, they will lose respect for you and hate you. Be yourself. Make allies/friends/colleagues by being a friend. People hate to be talked down to condescendingly by some asshole thinking he's inspiring them. If it's not broken, don't fix it. Leave workers alone to do their jobs if they're doing them right. Only bug them when there are problems. Don't try to suck blood out of your workers, meaning don't ride them to do more than a good day's work, because it will backfire on you. They will just see you as an asshole. Treat them like the human beings they are. Run your business without delusions. The more things change, the more they stay the same. Keep it simple. Constantly analyze yourself and your business. Have realistic expectations. Don't necessarily associate expansion with success. Keep it small if it's profitable right now. Never put yourself above anyone else, either customers or workers. Don't forget what your mother taught you. Be a good, basic person. Try to respect everybody and everything. Business sense too. Business sense comes down to the basics of being a nice, pleasant, liberally educated person who people like, and when they like you, they will work harder for you and buy more things from you. Have a pleasant tone of voice at all times. Be clean, fit, attractive, trim, have a pleasant face and a smiling countenance imprinted in there to give off the impression that you enjoy your life. Think clearly. Have a good memory. If you don't have a good memory, take notes. Remember people's names and try to remember what they talk to you about so you can bring it up when you talk to them later, thus showing them you give some kind of a damn about them. Find your purpose, live it to the hilt, enthusiastically derived from the Greek word entheos, meaning the God within, so live by the God within, inspired, inspirited, about your life. Motivate people by being a natural dynamo in and of yourself. People will watch and after a while be attracted to you because they will think you're a fascinating, dynamic, energetic individual and want to learn from you to be like that themselves. That's how you make it in business, but the challenge never ends. You're always being watched, under scrutiny so to speak, so the best way to be a leader is to be a fine example of a good, honorable human being each and every day. It's tough trying to be bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, calm, cool and collected every day in the midst of the drudgery of the mundane world where people are tired, apathetic, and frivolous most of the time, but that's what it takes to be a true leader in life. Have a glorious vision for your life, don't sell yourself short, and live it out with inner dignity no matter what. You have to be a winner inside before you should try to be a winner in the outside world. Great victories come through the persistence of hard work. The difference between success and failure in anything is often the guy who hung on when the world told him to quit. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. The solution is to love your work. Do what you were born to do, it's that simple. Anything less is a wasted life. Life is a learning process. Never stop learning, because if you do, you stop living a full life. You are your most important product. Thinking is your greatest tool, followed by action. Your speech and vocabulary speak volumes about the real you. Speak honestly, humbly, and happily with a good command of the language, but don't try to impress people with your words. Just be straightforward. Remember Kipling's poem "If, nor talk too wise." Don't ever swear even if everyone around you swears. Grace under pressure, to rise to a crisis and not shrink away is the sign of a true winner. You have to be able to show people that you can feel them and relate to them on their level. Make friends by being a friend. Listen to everyone for at least a few minutes. Only stop when they start getting too frivolous. Trust your workers. Delegate your jobs to them and trust them unless they prove otherwise. Don't lose sight of what's happening on the work floor. Don't isolate yourself in your office. Stay close to the means of production. You have to take it easy every day. Work hard but take it all in stride. It's just life. It has to be lived every day regardless. Don't take it all so hard. Don't get too full of yourself either. True leadership is to be yourself in a friendly way, being a strong moral person who gets the job done. Can all the pretense of your former education that tries to manipulate you into being something you're not. You have it within you to know what's good and right in dealing with people and getting the job done. Follow your heart, be true to yourself and don't buy into all that business management psychobabble out there. Don't lose your soul in the midst of the business. Your business should be something that's soulful to you to start out with. Politics is a reality in the hierarchy of any organization, but the people above you, or at least some of them, are real people who know what's going on. So if you work hard, keep your nose clean and don't play the office politics game, you will probably get your shot at the big time in due course. Don't be a conformist clone brown noser, nor be a maverick, independent nonconformist. You have to be a bit of both and play the middle somewhere to show them you've got common sense and originality at the same time. All the power you have by virtue of position is fake. It's not real authentic power, so don't abuse it. Use it to get the job done and nothing personal beyond that. Be wary of stress destroying you such that you use your fake power to try to make your workers miserable just so you can make yourself feel good for a while by thinking you got some power over somebody. Try not to manipulate anybody into doing anything. Be straight to them. Tell them what you want and why, then reward them well for doing good work and you will get true respect. If you bully people or belittle them, they won't respect you. Develop a multi-demographic cast in management and on the work floor. Different viewpoints can help improve the company. Hire a few women too. It makes the men try harder so as not to look like slobs in front of the women. Replace seniority with ability. The best person gets the promotion, not the one who's been there the longest. Get rid of hierarchies as much as possible. Keep them in place, but in the actual workplace, keep it man to man, human to human. A great leader goes by instinct, adapting to every situation. No matter how bad it looks, don't quit until they throw you out. Victory often comes on the edge of defeat. A sure path to success in dealing with people is to play up to their egos, give them compliments and kiss ass if you have to. Show people you like them by helping them, listening to them, giving them things, doing them favors, acting like you're like them, socializing with them and inspiring them. Use the fullest possible knowledge from wherever you can find it to better your business. Train your people, free them from the fear of hierarchy and give them the power to do their jobs well in a comfortable setting. Keep abreast of changes in the marketplace. Generate changes yourself. When you have to do unpopular mean things, do them without emotion as a fact of life. First impressions matter. Have less meetings, more action. Most battles are won before the first shot is fired due to training or lack of it. Be self-deprecating. Admit when you make a mistake. Be an open book. Don't keep secrets or act mysterious. Be open with people. Being closed alienates everybody. The better you are at being sociable and talking to people, the more successful you will be. Keep it simple and relevant. Be honest with the way you see yourself and your business. Be flexible. Go with the flow. Keep learning about your field. When you mess up, work doubly harder to get back into it. Greed and corruption are bad karma and usually destroy corporations. Helping and uplifting people brings success. Turn your workers into star performers in their own right and pay them what they're worth. Forget the old school of the past. Think of the future only. In particular, keep abreast of all new technologies in your field. Watch the marketplace for future trends. When you're successful, play it cool. Everybody will be gunning for you. Act humble even if you're not. Be gracious in victory. Take risks for what you believe in. Don't commit unless you can go 100%. Trust your workers with day-to-day affairs. Encourage teamwork. If they have an idea to improve the company, try it out. Problems generally come from selling the wrong products, making them the wrong way, marketing them poorly, and runaway expansion. Always watch your competition. They can destroy you if you don't outdo them. Expect turbulence. Deal with it coolly and rationally. After all, it's only business, it's not your whole life. The sun will still come out tomorrow no matter what happens today. Prepare for all trouble spots before they happen so you're ready when they do. Offer above average base pay. Pay bonuses on super performance and super profits. People respond to financial incentives. Reward success in productivity and in profits, and they will work harder for you. If it can be misunderstood, it will be. There's never time to do it right, but always time to do it over. When you don't know what to do, look worried and walk fast. When someone makes an innocent mistake, don't scold. Just teach them the right way to do it. Keep the right number of workers at all times to avoid disruptive hirings and firings. Gather business and product information and share it as much as you can. Put a program on the company computer network that has all this new info and invite workers to look through and post their own comments and ideas. Always continue to learn about your business. Business Sense 3. All businesses have some lean times. Learn from them. You have to strive to keep all first-time customers coming back by constantly offering related products at low prices. This is the simple golden rule. I never believed in the authoritative approach much. Employees are smart, they know when they have to work hard, like at the Christmas rush, so if you treat them right and respect them, they will put out for you. There's an invisible middle line where you as the boss boss them around and they as workers know what they have to do and don't wanna be bugged. If it's not broken, don't fix it. Leave them alone if they're doing the job right. Don't make stupid, useless speeches. Don't hide away in an office. Work with them, beside them if possible, even if only for an hour in the morning. Some employees will do extra, but most will do what they deem their money's worth in their minds, so remember, there's almost never true loyalty. Get good workers. Mix it up so they keep an eye on each other, like teenagers, seniors, and a few married types, even a few women all together. Immigrants and illegal aliens usually make good workers. From my own experience, I found that welfare cases don't make good workers because they're either drunks or lazy people, but there are exceptions. Train them right. Make them feel important. Introduce them to clients. Get permanence over temps. Temps get what they can out of you because they know they will be gone tomorrow. It's always about money. If worker Joe gets tired of your pettiness or gets a better offer, he's gone, so don't see your workers as buddies, see them as workers doing a job. It's okay to socialize, but it's a job, they'd really rather be at home watching TV. Treat them right, give them the afternoon off if they did good, and give them a turkey at Christmas. They will remember these things and stay that night when you really need them. In today's world, you can get away paying employees pretty cheaply. I'd say for best results, give them at least $2 over minimum wages so they don't feel like total flunkies, and give you some real effort back. Minimum wage produces a mindset in the worker that he's a flunky and he will slack off and steal what he can. Don't be afraid to change the business to go with the times. One guy who sold meat sandwiches put an outdoor cafe outside, then a drive-through window, then he got a liquor license, then started free deliveries over $12, then he put a second shop near a college campus to get the student crowd. It's all about change as you go along. I believe that a good business owner should keep up on business nuts and bolts knowledge either through current magazines, books at the library, hashtag 650-659, and go on the internet to learn. For example, if you use the phone a lot, you can get an internet phone hookup where your international calls are free and you can get free national directory assistance. With clients and customers, be honest and don't beat around the bush. Say whatever you have to say straight out, quick and direct. Get feedback from employees and friends. Ask them for their thoughts. Get a way to think about your business. Treat your employees well. One Sunday afternoon barbecue at some park or your place that might cost you a few $100 will make your employees think that you're a great boss. Form your workers into a baseball team, bowling team, or something, then go out together once a week in a league or something. Keep free food around for the employees like free pop. It pays itself back in motivation/happy campers. Don't hold useless meetings. If you have a bad apple, get rid of him. Take clients and employees out to lunch every once in a while. Do what you know. A friend of mine's father owned a funeral home. He wanted to go out on his own, so he tried dentistry, hated it, tried driving truck, hated it, managed a shoe store, hated it, and now makes good money running his father's funeral home. A lot of people go out into the world then come back to the family business. If you do business with the public, try to get at least one branch as close to the main drag as possible and put a big sign up. Don't become a snob as you get successful. Learn your books or find a good accountant. Don't go cheap on packaging for your product. Do it right. Always look for new suppliers and new products. Always look for new markets like a big company like Walmart, TV shopping networks, catalog houses, etc. Consider a modified franchise like offering independent salesman dealerships. Clean up your paperwork. Put it on computer if you can. Cater to everybody from Christians to minorities to gays. Offer free food, coupons, help out like offer kids your parking lot to hold a bake sale or car wash. Visibility, advertising, and location are everything. Give away calendars and t-shirts with your company name on it. Get a website and toll-free number. I don't believe in high-end anything. Cheap is what sells. I'd rather sell 100 widgets for $10 a piece than 10 high-class widgets for $20 each, because that's what gets your customer in the door to buy other things. Study your competition. Go to their retail outlets and look around. When doing surveys, always listen to negative feedback. Know your customer and market to him or her. Keep enough inventory but not too much. Watch out for theft. Install surveillance cameras. Keep good records of inventory. Go to relevant trade shows. Find a trade show directory at your local library. If your company is in a skilled area, you might be able to get cheap labor by offering internships to local students. Simply call the local college and ask. Be ready for setbacks and failure. Use them as strength to keep going. Everything in life is compromise. There is no such thing as perfect. Never say never. Use intelligent action and perseverance. Pull out if it's the right thing to do. Bounce back. Everything takes time. Simplify everything. Keep up with the latest technology. Above all else, if you've got an original concept, stick by it and work hard. Don't listen to anyone. Get a good logo and keep going. Remember, keep evolving and reinventing yourself. You may be in mail order, direct mail, or you may be a local merchant with 150 employees, whichever, however or whatever, you've got to know how to keep your business alive during economic recessions. Anytime the cash flow in a business, large or small, starts to tighten up, the money management of that business has to be run as a tight ship. Don't open a restaurant unless you really know what you're doing. Business Sense 4. Do you like your business? Are you having fun? If you don't know what your so-called life purpose is, keep trying different things. Clearly understand and describe what your business does. If you treat one customer or employee badly, lots of others will find out through the grapevine, i.e. gossip. You have to socialize to get new customers, investors, etc. Be brutally honest with yourself and your business. People love either a free email newsletter or a website with knowledge about the products you're selling and the field you're in. Keep in touch with customers through greeting cards for different holidays, sales letter with coupon and newsletter. Be polite to everyone. Is there a need for what you're selling? Can the customer afford it? The entrepreneur is the visionary, always improving. The manager part of you keeps one foot on the ground. Focus on the consumers and employees. Be committed. We are fallible. We make mistakes. It's harder to do the right thing than the wrong thing. People don't want to lay off employees, but if you must, do it compassionately. Some workers need a lot of gentleness, some do best with strict discipline, some need a mix of the two, and some have to be fired. Building your business is a continuous process. What is standing in the way of your customer getting what he wants from your business? Always do what has to be done right now. Some people try to put off the hard stuff and retreat their easy stuff that they like. Building a business should be an adventure with high, inspired times and low, despairing times. Starting and running a business is risky. Look for ways to reduce costs, increase revenue, and manage the business more effectively. Mismanagement is the biggest cause of business failure. It is your job as a business owner to try to create a valuable and memorable experience for your customers. One idea for business is that people are willing to pay to have things done for them that they consider tedious or boring chores. Create a business that adds a positive contribution. Focus on the needs of others. Creating a successful business requires building relationships that are mutually beneficial. If you fail to plan, then you are planning to fail. What are the values of your business? Who are the players on your team? Who's your target customer? How do you attract customers? How do you run your business daily? What are the roles and responsibilities of your team? Always think about the future of your business. Great opportunities come to those who are open and available. It's easy to focus on what is wrong. Focus on what you can do. When you talk, listen to the other guy. When you're not sure of what to do, write it out to help figure it out. Ideas with no action are nothing. Business is a process. You change it as you learn. You will come up against obstacles and challenges. Your attitude or vibe is real. People sense you. If you got a bad attitude, customers won't come back. A positive attitude is vigor, well-being, and calm. A bad attitude is depression, anxiety, anger, and hostility. Business Sense 5. Some of the things you can and should do include protecting yourself from expenditures made on sudden impulse. We've all bought merchandise or services we really didn't need simply because we were in the mood, or perhaps in response to the flamboyancy of the advertising or the persuasiveness of the salesperson. Then we wake up a couple of days later and find that we've committed hundreds of dollars of business funds for an item or service that's not essential to the success of our own business, when really pressing items had been waiting for those dollars. If you are incorporated, you can eliminate these impulse purchases by including in your bylaws a clause that states, all purchasing decisions over a certain amount are contingent upon approval by the board of directors. This will force you to consider any impulse purchases of considerable cost and may even be a reminder in the case of smaller purchases. If your business is a partnership, you can state, when faced with a buying decision, that all purchases are contingent upon the approval of a third party. The third party can be your partner, one of your department heads, or even one of your suppliers. If your business is a sole proprietorship, you have 3 days to think about your purchase and then to nullify that purchase if you think you don't really need it or can't afford it. The most important rule is to research every big decision you have to make. Hire a professional for information if you have to. They sometimes know things that can save you a lot of money. Particularly when sales are down, you must be hard-nosed with people trying to sell you luxuries for your business. When business is booming, you undoubtedly will allow salespeople to show you new models of equipment or a new line of supplies. Your company's books should reflect your way of thinking, and whoever maintains them should generate information according to your policies. Many small companies set up advisory boards of outside professional people. These are sometimes known as power circles, and once in place, the business always benefits, especially in times of short operating capital. Such an advisory board or power circle should include an attorney, a certified public accountant, civic club leaders, owners, or managers of businesses similar to yours, and retired executives. Setting up such an advisory board of directors is really quite easy, because some people you ask will be honored to serve. Once your board is set up, you should meet about once a quarter and present material for review. Each meeting should be a discussion of your business problems and an input from your advisors relative to possible solutions. These members of your board of advisors should offer you advice as well as alternatives and provide you with objectivity. No formal decisions need to be made either at your board meeting or as a result of them, but you should be able to gain a great deal from the suggestions you hear. Something else that's a good business practice, but which few business owners do, is to methodically build a credit rating with their local banks. Particularly when you have a good cash flow, you should borrow $100 to $1,000 from your banks every 90 days or so. Simply borrow the money and place it in an interest-bearing account, and then pay it all back before it's due. By doing this, you will increase the borrowing power of your signature and strengthen your ability to obtain needed financing on short notice. This is a kind of business leverage that will be of great value to you if or whenever your cash position becomes less favorable. By all means, join your industry's local and national trade associations. Most of these organizations have a wealth of information available on everything from details on your competitors to average industry sales figures, new products, services, and trends. If you are given a membership certificate or wall plaque, you should display these conspicuously on your office wall. Customers like to see such seals of approval and feel additional confidence in your business when they see them. If at all possible, you should have your spouse work in the business with you for at least 3 or 4 weeks per year. The important thing is that if for any reason you are not available to run the business, your spouse will be familiar with certain people and situations about your business. These people should include your attorney, accountant, any consultants or advisors, creditors, and your major suppliers. The long-term advantages of having your spouse work 4 weeks per year in your business with you will greatly outweigh the short-term inconvenience. Many couples share responsibility and time entirely, which is in most cases even more desirable. Whenever you can and as often as you need it, take advantage of whatever free business counseling is available. The SBA publishes many excellent booklets, checklists, and brochures on quite a large variety of businesses. Most local universities and many private organizations hold seminars at minimal cost and often without charge. You should also take advantage of the services offered by your bank and local library. Take business classes at night school. The important thing about running a small business is to know the direction in which you're heading, to know on a day-to-day basis your progress in that direction, to be aware of what your competitors are doing, and to practice good money management at all times. All this will prepare you to recognize potential problems before they arise. Whatever you do in business, plan, plan, plan. You must always watch the marketplace in your sector. If new competition comes from a cutting development, either change or get out. Every current growth industry will be obsolete someday simply because technology just keeps churning out better stuff. The standard of living is not necessarily getting better. There will always be poor people and rich people. Beyond family and friends, probably the best way to get financing is to go into a joint partnership with someone who's got money. You can probably take a loan out using your retirement plan benefits as collateral. Business common sense. If you truly believe in yourself, don't listen to anyone. I can honestly say that I've had plenty of times where it was just me and what I believed in. On top of it, everybody was putting me down like that line out of some old Queen song. Have a physical outlet. Go for walks, lift weights, swim, etc. If you're married, you have two spouses, your business and your wife. Give them both attention, 80% business, 20% wife is enough. It's the 100 to 0 ones that end in divorce. Use failure and loss as valuable learning lessons. When I was a boxer, one guy beat me once by fooling me. He never beat me again. I was ready for him the next time. Depression is feeling you've lost control of something. I don't get depressed because every day, regardless of how I feel when I wake up, I go through my paces of inspired activities. If you watch those kind of stupid business shows on TV, you'll see that sooner or later, every guest degenerates to the same few cliches. The biggest one is you must love what you do, otherwise it won't work. The money might not come right away, but it should if you're sincere, wise and hard-working. Everybody falls. Get up, dust yourself off. Keep moving. Nothing shows dedication like investing your own money into it. Before you start a business, make sure it's the right one for you. Plans are all right, but they can't compete with day-to-day reality. Don't believe everything you read or hear. Double-check important knowledge with another source. Ultimately, trust your gut intuition. Even when faced with what looks like a great deal, analyze it logically first. Diversify in everything: suppliers, banks you use, customers, employees, etc. Believe in yourself when no one else does. Keep up on advances in your field. You always need enough cash flow to pay your bills and employees. If you have to make a heart-wrenching, tough decision, do it, then move on. If something is going wrong, don't add fuel to it. The most common thing is pouring money into a losing venture in the hope that the money will turn it around. Chances are it will just eat it up. Don't ask employees to do demeaning work you wouldn't do. Don't trust anyone, especially not your bookkeeper. If you suspect he is stealing money, hire an auditor to check the books out. It's not just the bookkeeper. There are wolves in sheep's clothing everywhere. Beyond that, you have to give the right job to the right person. Some people are frontline people. Others want to be alone in the back doing the production. Don't let anyone sign checks but you. Expect betrayals here and there. It's not really personal. It's the way business works. People do what they feel they must to get ahead. If it means betraying you, it's par for the course. Expect your hotshot sales manager to leave taking his customers with him. Partners have a way of turning on each other then competing with each other. Pick a good partner or go solo and just hire the guy as your employee. Buying an existing business could be great or a headache. If you start a business from scratch, at least it's all about you. When things go wrong, act as though you expected it, since Murphy's Law is the rule of life: if something can go wrong, it will. Another good one related to the Peter principle of people rising up the corporate ladder to their level of incompetency is something like: don't underestimate the stupidity of anyone. If you screw workers, they'll screw you back by sabotaging something or stealing from you. Change with the demands of the marketplace. Mind your health. What's the good of it if your cholesterol is too high and you keel over? If a big business tries to compete with your small business, offer something they can't, like better service. As I've already said, business is not personal. People do what they must. If it means stabbing you in the back, it's just business. I've had customers stolen from me by so-called friends. What could I really do? Be a big baby? Nothing. Have a couple of trusted employees in case you get sick, go on vacation or go to jail. Nothing sells itself. You have to let people know it exists. There are very few get-rich-quick schemes that work. You are not your competition. Do what works for you. Don't sell so low that you go out of business. Stay away from negative people. Fire negative employees. One bad apple spoils the whole bunch. Stay calm in a tough situation. Have a disaster plan all set up in your mind. If good employees lose their zest for work, talk to them. It could be burnout, in which case they have to leave. If the cost of going public is losing some control, it's probably worth it. Your workers are not your friends. They are your subordinates. You give them orders. It's very difficult for anyone to run the business the way you want them to should you decide to back off. The act of running a business is the lifeblood of some people. It's their art form. If you have a bad day, forget it. Keep working tomorrow. Don't just hire vanilla employees. Diversity has advantages. Different people have different talents and ideas. If you love your hobby, making it a business could be great, or it could sap your passion for it. Expect to stand alone. Don't expect moral support. Keep a tab on your books even if you've got accountants running the show. Simply ask them what's going on every few days. Take competitors seriously. Steal their ideas and customers just like they're stealing yours. Remember, it's just business. When it comes to money, everybody will steal if they get a chance, even lawyers and accountants. Don't give too much credit out. If a deal seems too good to be true, it's either stolen property or a lie. Don't get too greedy. You're there to serve people. Your profit should take second place. You're in it for the long haul. Expect to lose top employees at any time for any reason, like going to the competition. It happens all the time. Don't listen to your employees' sob stories too much. They're setting you up to get something out of you. Keep a professional distance. Perfect doesn't exist. Just keep moving. If you sense danger, pursue your instincts. Don't be a loner. It's too hard. Delegate some work. Be a team player. Sometimes there will be hard times. Don't keep workers guessing. Tell them what's going on. Good business is service, not ego. Lots of guys make some money then think they're big hots in the fast lane while the business is going to hell. Don't blame others on your shortcomings. As a boss, you take the ultimate responsibility. I already said don't extend too much credit. If a customer won't pay, consider a civil/small claims lawsuit. Business is taking risks, and when a risk fails, keeps going. Don't look back. Have realistic expectations. Business is selling yourself, which makes it about relationships. If possible, work a job in your field before you start a business in it. Survive the down times. There's a show called The Dragon's Den at cbc.ca where people pitch their ideas to wealthy people. One of these dragons told a guy, you gotta stay positive but not to the point of self-delusion. You have to know when to get out. You have to be realistic. They cut people way down on that show. It looks mean-spirited, but I understand where they're coming from, because most people that go on that show have a weak concept or product in the practical, useful sense. How many more board games do we need? Do we really need a new Christmas tree stand? We don't need another exercise gadget or a workout video. We don't need gags or novelties. We don't need new types of jewelry. There was some couple on there who thought they created some kind of software where they could print out weekly schedules for their family to use. I was thinking, why didn't they just go on 2cows.com or download.com to find a freeware version already in existence? A lot of people reinvent things that have already been invented. They didn't do their research. They got an idea, thought it was hot stuff, then plunged in without looking around to see if anyone else already did it. The best thing you can do to avoid bad times is research before you start a business to help determine if there's a real demand for the product or service. Another thing you can do is divide the world into two categories. 1. Practical goods. 2. Frivolous goods. Stay away from all frivolous goods, including home decor. It's not practical. It's meaningless. The one thing that always kept me going was that I knew in my soul that I was doing something good and worthwhile that could help people, and at some point in time, would earn me a good living in the process. The challenge was and is always to get your product to a marketable state and get it to the people in the easiest way possible. The number one criteria for success is to analyze what you want to do before you do it to make sure it will go, believe in it with all your heart and soul and work like a madman. Your belief in yourself has to be cast iron and you have to be intelligent, always thinking of ways to improve. As a business owner, you got to have this mentality, that you love your work more than any of those other stupid, trivial pursuits out there like TV, pop culture entertainment, baseball, or whatever. When the business starts, everyone gets excited and tells you to go for it. Everyone agrees to help out and the whole house is buzzing about with visions of big bank deposits dancing in their heads. After a few months though, the novelty wears off. Since you probably haven't made any money, family members may grow discouraged. They begin degrading your motives for opening the business in the first place. They may even embarrass you and try to make you feel like a failure without even realizing it. Eventually, if you stay with the business and exclude the family, they will begin feeling rejected. A spouse may be upset because you don't go to bed the same time you used to. He or she may pressure you into spending more time with them and the children. You love your family and don't want to hurt them, but you don't want to hurt your business either. You are torn between two loves and sometimes this decision is extremely difficult to make. What are you supposed to do? If your spouse gets ill and you have to take care of him or her, this situation would demand more attention than your business, but most situations are not this severe. Oftentimes, family pressures only come from the fact that the family member feels left out and rejected. Naturally, when you are building your business, your time is occupied much more than when you didn't have one. Your spouse may be used to falling asleep with you while watching television. You can still do this. Just take a break and watch television with your spouse until he or she falls asleep. In turn, he or she should have the understanding that you will probably be working on your business for a few hours while they are sleeping. Give a little. If the children are used to you spending more time with them, try and involve them in some aspect of your business. Take them to the post office with you to pick up your mail. Talk with them about school or other things that interest them while you're both in the car. Ask them to drop the mail in the mailbox while you are cleaning out your post office box. Even a small amount of responsibility in your business builds up a respect for your work and they will give you more space when you need to take time away from them. If your children are young, take a nap when they are asleep and work longer hours after they go to bed at night. If you work a full-time job, take some lunches by yourself and study your business-related materials. You will be amazed how much new ideas you can come up with at lunch undisturbed. Carry a mini cassette recorder or pad of paper with you every place you go. Write down ideas that come into your mind and review these ideas while eating lunch or watching television. You can find time to build your business, it just takes a little thought. It may not always be the amount of time you want and need, but you can squeeze some time in somewhere. Just find out what method works the best for you. Your family, friends, and other human relationships are important to your mental attitude. Don't alienate them completely, just find ways you can enjoy the best of both worlds and everyone will be happy, including you and your business. inkwelleditorial.com/smallbizcntr/black-survivor.htm, Small Business Inspiration, How to Survive the Bad Days. CIO.com/article/21406/help_employees_cope_with_tough_times, help employees cope with tough times. Chapter 4. Business Knowledge Websites. Websites for becoming a business coach. California-institute.com/diplomas/life-bus.htm, Life and Business Coach Course Description, Training in Sacramento, California. Center for Executive Coaching.com, Become an Executive Coach. Home-business-4-u.com/business-products/business_coach_business.html. life-coaching-resource.com/business-coaching.htm. lifecoachingstudio.com. thegrowthcoachfranchise.com. thegrowthcoachfranchise.com. Business stories/business biographies. MadamCJWalker.com, an account of the life of an entrepreneur, who rose from the cotton fields of the South to become a successful self-made American businesswoman. Callcenterdiary.blogspot.com. abcnews.go.com/business. ap.org/dynamic/front/business. apple.com/business. biz.yahoo.com/mva.html. bizjournals.com. biztree.com. blog.timbury.com/business_stories. bloomberg.com. boston.com/business. business.time.com. businessweek.com. cbn.com/finance/businessarchive.aspx, Christian. ChinaSuccessStories.com. cnn.com. cubicle.com. dailybusinessreview.com/business/business_stories.html. edition.cnn.com/business. feedburner.com/time/business. forbes.com/business. ft.com. greenbiz.com. grow-your-income.com. homebusiness.com. legacybusinessstories.com. livesmovingstories.com. mockhour.typepad.com, Green Business Stories. millionairehalloffame.com. money.cnn.com. msnbc.msn.com. myownbusiness.org/success.html. news.bbc.co.uk. news.sg.msn.com/business, Singapore. news.yahoo.com. npr.org. nypost.com/business/business.htm. openforum.com, go to small business stories. ottawabusinessjournal.com. research-tv.com/stories/business sap.com, free SAP success stories for small and mid-size companies. sfgate.com, San Francisco. studentcenter.ja.org/aspx/planbusiness/stories.aspx. technoworthy.com/blogs. thenewstribune.com/business. time.com/time/business. ywork.org/about/features/stories/career.html. wiley.com/legacy/products/subject/business. wired.com/news/business. Business inspiration websites. Books about business inspiration are at hashtag 658.314 or HF5350 HF560 at the library. General self-help books are at hashtag 155-158 at the library. e-myth.com/learn/inspiration.htm. businessminds.com. charthouse.com. covey.com. financialminds.com. fishphilosophy.com. kenblanchardcompanies.com. lbendley.com. sheldonbowles.com. showcase.net/web/creative/lincoln/speeches/failures. tompeters.com. venturingforth.com. yourmomentum.com. secretstotheirsuccess.com. Business knowledge websites. knowledge.wharton.upenn.edu. knowledge@wharton.com.cn. knowthis.com/tutorials/principles-of-marketing.htm. entrepreneurship.com/online_media, business tutorials. amane.org, 800-262-9699, American Management Association. ASTD.org, American Society for Training and Development. benefitslink.com. directory.compuserve.com/forum/dptrain/abstract. education.indiana.edu/is/students/jobs/joblink.html, instructional technology jobs. galegroup.com, 800-877 Gale. hrplaza.com. hrps.org. hrworld.com. ittrain.com, Inside Technology Training. manpower.com. shrm.org. toastmasters.org, Speakers Association. trainingsupperside.com, 800-707-7749. tierregistry.com, Training Registry. usods.com/services. worldatwork.org. Business motivation websites. Books about business motivation are at hashtag 650.1, hashtag 658.314 or BF481 and HF5350 HF560 at the library. General self-help books are at hashtag 155-158 at the library. IncentiveMag.com, magazine to motivate people. skillsusa.org, general motivation. motivationusa.com. 3864.surfaholic.nl, career motivation articles. allbusiness.com/sales-management/466-1.html. articles-factory.com/articles/business/aid-motivate-improve-staff-performance.html. bnetwork.blackenterprise.com. business.timesonline.co.uk/article/0,8244372,00.html. calpoly.edu/tilde-d-swanson/doug14.htm, how to motivate minimum wage workers. Is that really possible? canadianbusiness.com/entrepreneur/human_resources. careerjournal.com/columnist/in the lead. cdrcp.com/pdf/how to motivate staff-tell them involve them.pdf. cio.com. communiceoltd.com/pages/184_new_ways_to_motivate_your_staff.cfm. convert2cad.com/blog/p=p=8. darwinmag.com/read/100102/staff.html. eckertagremarketing.com. eckertagremarketing.com/store/detail.php?id=19, how to motivate teen workers. employerhelp.org. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/motivate. findarticles.com, understanding what makes your staff tick. forbes.com/management. funtmbuilding.com. gallantgifts.com/boost_productivity.html. hospitalityguild.com/guidepros/management/motivate_your_staff.htm. howtogetresales.com/motivating-our-team.htm. enrpubs.unl.edu/epublic/pages/publication d.jsp, 77 ways to motivate your workers. kohurry.org/?p=7, top 10 ways to demotivate geeks. leadership.broadcast.com. lessonsinleadership.com, 800-873-3451. managernewsy.com. marketingprofs.com/ea/qsd_question.asp?QSD ID=11427. microsoft.com/small-business/expert/Strauss110305.msbx. nelson-motivation.com, 800-575-5521. ninthhouse.com, 800-304-4951. personneltoday.net. saic.org/fed/motivation. smartmoney.com/quicktips. springnet.com/ce/m903b.htm. suite101.com/reference/motivate_employees. superperformance.com/motivateperformance.php. susanfee.com/coaching/tips/creative-waste-motivate-youremployees.htm. tompeters.com, 888-221-8685. totalcustomerservicetraining.com. tsa.org/page_790.php, motivate your exhibit staff. wikihow.com/motivate-staff. work.com/employee_management. workplacetoolbox.com.